You can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Thanks.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Hour 106.
When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken and sadness take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time.
I pray you be our hands in marches where we move, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be
La luce che tu dai nel cuore resterà a ricordarci che l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera. Quanta fede c'è. Lead us to a place. Let us wait in your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e speranza. Ognuno dia mano al suo vicino, simbolo di pace e di eternità. La forza che ci dai e il desiderio che ognuno troviamo intorno e dentro a sé. This be our prayer. Let this be our prayer. Just at every child. Lead us find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Hai la fede che hai a se sognare. Sento che ci salverà. Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli, The Prayer. Before that, we shared with you a piece by John O'Donoghue, For One Who Is Exhausted, a Blessing. For One Who Is Exhausted, a Blessing, by John O'Donoghue. O''Donohue, John O'Donoghue. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 22nd day of the 6th month of 2023, the International Year of Millets, cereals grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Put another way, it's the 22nd day of the first month of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season. In this disaster risk reduction month, in fact, the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is reporting that Tropical Storm Brett is near Barbados, where heavy rain and strong winds are expected in portions of the Lesser Antilles later today and tonight. Meanwhile, Tropical depression number 4 is moving west-northwestward over the tropical central Atlantic. The month of June is also Road Safety Awareness Month, Brides Month, and Pride Month. In the United States, it's National Immigrant Heritage Month, National Caribbean American Heritage Month, and Caribbean Cuisine Month. Still in the United States, June is being observed as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, Cataract Awareness Month, Myasthenia Gravis Awareness Month, Aphasia Awareness Month, Congenital Cytomegalovirus Awareness Month, Migraine and Headache Awareness Month, National Safety Month, Scleroderma Awareness Month, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, PTSD Awareness Month, Scoliosis Awareness Month, and Men's Health Month. It's the 4th day of Caribbean American Legislative Week and Helen Keller Deafblind Awareness Week in the United States. Here in Jamaica, this week is being observed as National Productivity Week 2023 under the theme Productivity, Green Growth, and Sustainability. Anti-Fascist Struggle Commemoration Day activities are on in Croatia. The foundation of the nation's army is being commemorated in the Republic of the Congo. It's School Teachers' Day in El Salvador, and members of the Caribbean diaspora are commemorating the 75th anniversary of the HMT Empire Windrush. It's Windrush Day in the UK.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
The Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency is reminding applicants of measures that can make the application process more convenient. Renew your adult passport online at your convenience at pica.gov.jm. Have your passport delivered to you anywhere in the world via courier service, or skip the line and submit your application through our Dropbox facility in Kingston and Montego Bay. You can also use our simplified adult renewal form and bypass the requirement for certification by a Justice of the Peace. PICA, securing our borders, safeguarding our sovereignty.
Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration, known as an IM4 or IMS4. Ask your clearing agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once duties and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IM4 or IMS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or C number, which can be used to verify your payments. Importers, request your IM4, IMS4, or C number. It is your right. For details, email the Jamaica Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Both sides of the story.
Do you have a title for your land? Are you thinking about buying or selling land? How much is your property worth? Tune in to Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. for The NLA and You, a program that examines the National Land Agency's role in building an efficient and transparent land titling system for Jamaicans. That's The NLA and You on Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm every last Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal, committed to serve you better.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza. Un mondo di
Hoy es jueves el 22 de junio 2023 Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones, y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
C'est jeudi le 22 juin 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez, que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
To be wild in times when we don't know.
All we're saying is it's Thursday, the 22nd of June, 2023, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
When stars go out each night, eternas stellas nella mia preghiera, let this be our prayer. Quanta fede c'è, what shall fill our day? Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di...
Good afternoon to Ms. Elaine Barker. We know this is your favorite recording. We trust you are enjoying the moment. Thank you very much for tuning in as usual here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Welcome to those of you joining us, whether for the first time or most of the times. Thank you very much. Whatever your listening pattern, we appreciate you and we thank you for your listenership and support. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, welcome. Good afternoon. Hubert Fowlin says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan Malcolm and your listening audience. A very pleasant day to you all. Back at you, Hubert Fowlin. Gavith Peterson says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Gavith Peterson. Jacqueline Simmons, good afternoon. Blessings to you too. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Donovan Campbell and those joining on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good to have you on board on this auspicious day. 75 years of the HMT Empire Windrush, a ship that arrived at the port of Tilbury, Tilbury. Some people say Tilbury Docks, on the 21st of June, 1948, carrying 492 Caribbean migrants, many of them veterans of the Second World War. The passengers disembarked a day later, as in the 22nd of June, and the ship and its passengers have a symbolic status as the start of the Windrush generation. The ship was originally launched in Germany in 1930 as MV Monte Rosa and was owned and operated by the German shipping line Hamburg Süd in the 1930s. Well, that's not all. There is more. So let's give you a little more in terms of the story. After all, this is both sides of the story, isn't it? The story of the HMT Empire Windrush today marks the 75th anniversary. Well, yesterday, technically speaking, because they didn't disembark until a day later, I believe. So it's the 75th anniversary of the arrival of the HMT Empire Windrush at Tilbury Harbor, carrying on board some 800 passengers who gave their last country of residence as somewhere in the West Indies, and many of whom would migrate as workers and would settle in Britain and help steer its economic recovery after the Second World War. But this was only one journey in the vessel's history, a colorful, checkered history and varied life since its maiden voyage was made in 1931 to its sinking in 1954. Empire Windrush actually started its life as a German vessel called Monte Rosa in December 1930. It was the last of 5 Monte-class passenger ships built between 1924 and 1930 and operated by the Hamburg Süd Shipping Company. The Monte-class ships were all named after mountains in Germany and South America, Monte Rosa being the second highest mountain in the Alps. All 5 ships were originally intended as emigrant ships, sailing to and from Germany and South America, but in reality, 2 became German cruise ships, enjoying great success in the 1920s. By 1931, when Monte Rosa was put into service, the cruise industry was struggling after the advent of the Great Depression, so for its early years, Monte Rosa became an emigrant ship. On the outbreak of the Second World War, she was converted as a troop ship and deployed for the invasion of Norway in 1940. She was also used for the deportation of nearly 50 Norwegian Jewish people in 1942, the majority of whom would perish in the Nazi concentration camps. In March 1944, she was attacked by the RAF, sustaining at least one torpedo, yet she made safe harbor in Denmark. Only 3 months later, she sustained more damage by a mine explosion, damaging her hull, and then another mine explosion in the Baltic damaged her in February 1945. At the end of the war, she was seized as a prize of war by the British forces, and in February 1947, she was reassigned as a British troop ship registered in the Port of London under the new name HMT Empire Windrush with its official number 18156. On its arrival at Tilbury, and we had the pleasure and the privilege 5 years ago of taking a bit of the journey uh, on the, we came across, what's the name of that area? But essentially, there was a vessel loaded with uh, health professionals, especially the nurses, saluting, celebrating their contribution to the NHS, the National Health Service in the United Kingdom. So we're honored to have been on that vessel and hearing some of the stories and learning more of the experience. Thank you if you're just tuning in, as we said earlier on, looking at some documents as well. So it's not just, all of this is properly documented, properly documented. And we will share more information as the program progresses. Continuing now with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Looking forward to your usual participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. There's a compilation of data created in partnership with the International Slavery Museum. And with respect to the HMT Empire Windrush, if you're just joining us, the HMT Empire Windrush was a ship which traveled from the Caribbean to Britain in 1948. In June of that year, the ship arrived at Tilbury near London, Tilbury, Tilbury. There were 802 people on board from different countries in the Caribbean. Many people on board were tailors, mechanics, carpenters. In fact, Britain needed more workers to rebuild the country after World War II. The British government passed a new law allowing people from the Caribbean to live and work in Britain. Oops, look at the time.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:32 on Power 106.
The Wallace family presents Reunion 2023 under the theme, bringing together all the generations. Come enjoy a weekend of fun, frolic, and relaxation throughout the parish of St. Anne, Saturday, June 24 to Monday, June 26. Celebrations include a family day, bus tour, church service, and much more. Part proceeds in aid of the Prickly Pole Primary School. That's the Wallace family reunion. All family and extended family are welcome. For further information, call 876-867-2508. One love.
Education plays a critical role in the lives of our young people. At the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies, we ensure financially challenged students across the Caribbean are given increased access to higher education so they can continue to transform their lives and the lives of others. Support our mission in shaping the lives of our future leaders. Donate to educate. Contact our office at 212-759-9345 for more details.
As we were saying before the break, the British government passed a new law allowing people from the Caribbean to live and work in Britain. Britain used adverts to ask them to move to Britain and thus created the Windrush generation. Between 1948 and 1971, more than 500,000 people from the Caribbean settled in the United Kingdom. Caribbean people who moved to the UK were known as the Windrush generation. The Monte Rosa was another ship that people arrived in Britain on. Some people traveled on other ships to emigrate to Britain. And the MV Georgic traveled from the Caribbean to Liverpool. And as far as life for the Windrush, for the Windrush generation in Britain was concerned, some people from the Windrush generation found it difficult to feel at home in Britain. They were quite uncomfortable. The weather was colder and wetter in Britain. Some people also missed their family and friends. Some Caribbean people were made to feel unwelcome in Britain. Treating someone differently, unfairly, and unkindly because of their skin color or race is, of course, racism. They had to deal with that. So what did the Windrush generation bring to Britain? The Windrush generation worked in important jobs in transport and healthcare. They brought music, food, and much more to British culture. In 1966, Claudia Jones started the Notting Hill Carnival, a celebration in London of Caribbean music, dance, and costumes. Hundreds of thousands of people go to the carnival every August. So just some bits and pieces there in terms of the timeline as delineated by The Guardian. There are quite a number of stories, and Jamaicans obviously are on the list of people being featured. Anthony Bryan, for example, who moved to Britain in 1965 from Jamaica. If there are those of you listening who can trace some kind of connection to the Windrush generation, please feel free to share. We welcome your stories here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, as we continue to stream live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. And there was a big scandal, the Windrush scandal. There was an attempt to deny rights of Commonwealth citizens to remain in the UK, and that was first highlighted by The Guardian in 2017. Tuesday, the 28th of November 2017, Paulette Wilson, who has lived in the UK for more than half a century, spoke to The Guardian about her treatment at the hands of the Home Office. The government had threatened to send her to Jamaica, a country she had not seen since she left at the age of 10. Friday, the 1st of December 2017, Anthony Bryan became the second of the Windrush generation facing deportation under Theresa May's hostile environment policy. To tell his story to The Guardian, Bryan's deportation to Jamaica was only cancelled at the last moment after a legal intervention. They don't tell you why they're holding you, and they don't tell you why they let you out. You feel so depressed, he said. Thursday, the 11th of January 2018, the government relents in Wilson's case, finally giving her official leave to remain in the UK. During her more than 50 years in the UK, Wilson had served food to MPs as a cook in the House of Commons and raised a family. But the Home Office did not initially believe she was in the country legally. Wednesday, the 21st of February 2018, it's an appalling place to live. I'm a proud man. I'm embarrassed at my age to be living like this, Renford McIntyre tells The Guardian as the former NHS driver who arrived in the UK in 1968 details how he had been left homeless, living in an industrial unit after being told he was not allowed to work and was not eligible for any government support. Thursday, the 22nd of February 2018, the issue began to snowball as senior Caribbean diplomats urged the Home Office to adopt a more compassionate approach towards retirement age Commonwealth citizens. In this system, one is guilty before proven innocent rather than the other way around, the Jamaican High Commissioner to London, Seth George Ramakan, says. Saturday, the 10th of March 2018, there's widespread outrage as it emerges a man who had lived in London for 44 years was told to produce a British passport or face a bill of £54,000 for cancer treatment, forcing him to go without. Official suspicion about his immigration status also led to Albert Thompson, not his real name, being evicted and spending 3 weeks homeless. And the stories just kept rolling in and rolling in. Let's pause for a moment and take some calls and some other feedback, messages as well. 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. That's the number. Those are the numbers to call. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. And that means you can send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can even call us on WhatsApp. Once again, 876-365-3346. To the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Welcome. What's on your mind this afternoon?
Well, you're speaking about the Guinness and so forth,
Yes.
but having missed Guinness,
Mhm.
my father,
Oh, your
left,
father tried to get on and missed it?
me,
Oh,
no,
you.
anyway, my father left for Britain
Mhm.
after the 1951 hurricane.
Hurricane Charlie.
And so he missed the Guinness a little bit.
Hmm.
He was a healer and a builder, hope builder. So he has,
You know, stick up in there and remember what you're going to say. I don't want to throw you off track.
yes,
But I'm just as you mentioned, Taylor, I'm wondering what is that? How is that group of uh, of Jamaicans doing? The tailors. Do we still have tailors in Jamaica?
Dervan, that's a good question. And the reason is, we have to get back some tailors in the country. And let me say what. These pants and so forth, when they get them from whatever country, especially China, the pants will not feel good. And they are making a pants out of this.
Is it that the pants them don't fit good as you say, or is it that what has happened is there's been some kind of a revolution in terms of the style and wearing particular pants that
Yes,
that hang below the buttocks and all of that?
yes, the material I'm talking about.
Mm.
The material, you know, material that is made. Let's say like
Terylene and wool.
school. And they have the khaki pants.
Mm.
But the shirt material was thinner than the pant material.
Oh.
No, they say I come from China, they make everything with one paper cloth. Thin. And you know what they do now? A pant is over 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, about 7 loops. Now they are making them with 5 loops. So when you put the belt in it, and to it, the material so thin, it just drop down, and the belt just snap, and it fit. A whole other thing of it. And sometimes when you put the pants in your working machine, depends on how can you work it. The zip, them spoil.
One moment, please. Hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency is reminding applicants of measures that can make the application process more convenient. Renew your adult passport online at your convenience at pica.gov.jm. Have your passport delivered to you anywhere in the world via courier service, or skip the line and submit your application through our Dropbox facility in Kingston and Montego Bay. You can also use our simplified adult renewal form and bypass the requirement for certification by a Justice of the Peace. PICA, securing our borders, safeguarding our sovereignty.
J&N Logistics and Marine Services, a custom broking freight forwarding company, local agents for Transcon USA and Freight Plus Worldwide Canada. They offer customs clearance for returning residents, students, clearance on shipment for individuals, businesses, and companies, vehicle sourcing and dealership service, transportation and haulage and export services, with custom consulting extended to all sectors. Call 876-937-7928 or 876-677-4049.
In times when we don't know, let this be our prayer.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Thanks for holding.
Yes, man. So let me go on to what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And I was born in the and then after the hurricane, my father left immediately.
After Hurricane Charlie in 1951.
That is one, yes.
Mhm.
Hurricane Charlie. me tell you something. It was a rough time for us. We left 3 children out here. But a brother and a sister.
Sorry, can we get some more volume from you, please? A little more, please.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. So he left 2 children out here. And then our mother. And our mother quickly went up. Like about a year or something after. And go have an next child over there. But I'm not going to the story right now. But let me tell you something. When my mother decided to go to the place where they live was Birmingham 21, 69 West Hollywood, Birmingham 21, England. Can't forget that. Anyway, let me tell you something. Man. I saw something that until now I hate it. I don't know who my mother got it, but somebody told her that her face is a little too dark. She must check it a little more clearer, and they would accept her much to get work and things easier.
Who said that?
I saw, I talked my here, and I saw my mother encouraged by some other relatives to wash her face with good milk so that she will come brown. Hello, you hear me there?
I find it shocking.
People don't know what winter and Ireland can say, but we know what was going on. We know. And let me tell you something, one good thing though, my father went over, he was one of the first young man at the time that went over there. And he was able to do the job and able to acquire a house and the amount of people that came from my area and go over there, and my father was able to put them up until they finally got place for themselves. You will never believe. And I did not know the story good until I went in the 70s at my father's funeral. He died. And me tell you something. When the man died, I regret I did not go over there earlier. Sharing one of the things here in Jamaica. And when they told me how my mother died, childbirth, after having 4 children out here, and God died, and she died childbirth. And in the 70s, so some lawyer friend of my father told me that the jobbers that was out here, he must go and sue the British government because my mother never supposed to pass on that way. It's a long story, I can't go into that now. But because it was rough for these we call them barrel picnic. When people leave you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you want to use them. And let's finish now. But to put it a little closer to home. You remember when they, no, you would remember, you would know. When they used to have the British educational system. You heard about that? Like first year, second year, third year.
I've heard people, senior citizens, talking about those matters before, using the same terms.
And
yes.
let me tell you, Dervan, you're subject on. And when you have to do the word 18, and if you pass, if you don't pass, say you might pass 4, or 6, or 7, or 2, or whatever, you have to go back the other year and do the whole exam over again.
Mm.
And that bless the Jamaican government that when they see thing coming and things like that, and change the whole British system. Then no, if you pass 1 or 2, you don't have to do it over the other year.
Lost a piece of what you said a while ago.
Pardon me?
Lost a bit of what you said a while ago.
About the education system?
Yeah.
What I mean? When in the education, when they visit the local Jamaican
No, man, we got that top part. It's just a little piece after that. There's something you
oh
said. Mm.
no, I am saying you have to take the whole examination over if you fail
Yes, we got
one
that.
and two subjects.
Mm-hmm.
But the British Jamaican government now change it up. When they bring in the change different system, that's what is going on and now. So that if you fail, whatever subject you fail, you don't have to take it over again. You go on to next year. And that was a big thing that the Jamaican government at the time did.
Mm.
You understand me? And because children were getting mad at those times. And I can't forget when you have to study your home, sweet home, no electricity. I was 6 apples that were on a big table. I could hardly sit with this personal lamp. Home sweet home lamp share. Let me tell you something. Why? We make it, we got it rough. Other details, I don't even remember some of them, so we'll talk.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the call.
Yes,
All the best.
good.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. We welcome those of you who are tuning in. Welcome. Donovan Campbell, good afternoon. Shan Zen Zen Jamaican Vibes says good afternoon to you too. Shan Zen Zen Jamaican Vibes. Marcel Worrell says, good day, Mr. M. 60 years of independence. Why we can't get it right? Is it that our political system has failed us? What needs to change in your humble opinion? All of us need to change our mindset in favor of Jamaica and serving this country of ours. To love Jamaica more than how we love ourselves. Because if we do that, then the love will multiply in a most dramatic way. But if we prefer to create enemies and all kinds of animosity and grudges and this and that, then all we'll be doing is continuing what we have been doing for not just 60 years, perhaps more than that. And that is doing the same things over and over again, especially those that have been shown to be less than, let's just say, less than palatable. Don't know if that answers your question, Marcel Worrell, but it really is about recommitting ourselves in service to our country in more ways than one. Jamaica first. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Have a great weekend. Same to you. Your weekend is starting early, Cherry Henry. Today is Thursday. Asha Ash says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asha Ash from London, England. And CNN is reporting, for those who have been following, the missing Titanic subcrew believed to be dead after catastrophic implosion. So the story is the Titanic bound submersible that went missing on Sunday with 5 people on board suffered a catastrophic implosion, killing everyone on board. And that's the word from U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger, or Mauger perhaps, Mauger. A remotely operated vehicle found the tail cone about 1,600 feet away from the bow of the shipwreck. Tour company Ocean Gate Expeditions said the 5 passengers were Hamish Harding, Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman Dawood, Paul-Henri Nagioulet, and Ocean Gate CEO Stockton Rush. The Titan began its descent Sunday to explore the wreckage of the Titanic, located about 13,000 feet below sea level in the North Atlantic Ocean. What a thing. Very sad indeed, says the Department of Defense. A Defense Department spokesperson said it is very sad to hear about the statement by Ocean Gate that it believes the individuals on the company's submersible have been lost. And there are other stories in relation to this submersible. Let's see. A couple more stories. They're reporting that debris has been found on the ocean floor that's been assessed to be from the external body of the Titan sub. Aboard the Titan catastrophe. Catastrophe was never far from my mind, is this opinion piece. And judge reveals. One moment, please.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock. J&N Logistics and Marine Services, a custom broking freight forwarding company, local agents for Transcon USA and Freight Plus Worldwide Canada. They offer customs clearance for returning residents, students, clearance on shipment for individuals, businesses, and companies, vehicle sourcing and dealership service, transportation and haulage and export services, with custom consulting extended to all sectors. Call 876-937-7928 or 876-677-4049. Need water for agricultural purposes? Apply to the National Irrigation Commission for your irrigation services. Let's grow smart and eat smart with irrigated agriculture. Call National Irrigation Commission at 876-927-6727. Visit their website at www.nicjamaica.com or visit any of their office locations today. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Pictures of those who perished in the submarine. British father, son, and explorer among sub-victims. And 5 dead on Titan sub were true explorers. So that's the dominant story right now. In other news, Turkey hikes interest rate to 15% in Erdogan U-turn. Erdogan being the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. So Turkey has hiked interest rate to 15% in what is described as a Erdogan U-turn. But apart from that, there are other stories as well which you can check up on according to your liking at this time. In the meantime, though, welcome Karine Campbell. She says, "Good day, Mr. Malcolm, viewers and listeners. Thank you very much. And all the best to you." We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. There's a call coming through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good afternoon, Uncle Dervan. Malcolm, how are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm great so far. I have 2 questions to ask.
Well, we hope the signal will last and the connection will be consistent. But go ahead. It sounds shaky already.
Why does Jamaican dollar weaken? What makes Jamaica a poor country, Uncle Dervan?
What's that?
What makes Jamaican dollar weakening?
The weakening of the Jamaican dollar. That it's we are fundamentally not we're fundamentally not as productive as we need to be as a country to earn the kind of money that we need to be earning. We need to be earning lots as a country, a lot of US dollars. And because of the nature of the market, there are ups and downs according to all kinds of macro related matters. And the authorities will tell you that they have been doing what they are able to do or what they think should be done in order to stabilize our currency. So we're not exporting as we could or should. So we're not earning a lot of money. So what that means is that we have to buy money. We have to, in a sense, we have to get US dollars, buy US dollars in order to be able to, and make the US dollars available in order to make the kind of purchases that are needed for the imports, because we import a lot more than we export. So there are some imbalances that we need to redress. There are some changes perhaps that we need to make There are some decisions that we need to take that could help, and decisions, not just making decisions, but taking action in many respects. So it's not a it's not a it's not the easiest of things to do, especially when you find yourself in the position that we have here in Jamaica. And mind you, we have been trying to ensure that there is a level of continuity in terms of how we manage the books of our country, in terms of how we manage our finances as a country. So that's another point of consideration. And there has been effort in that regard. There's no doubt about that. We have the agreement of all the stakeholders that this is the way we need to go in terms of our consistency when it comes to our fiscal position.
Yes, I understand. If this country is a poor country, every year when budget debate takes place in Jamaica, where does the politicians and the government get millions of dollars from?
Sorry, the audio is deteriorating now. It's not as clear as it was at the start.
You hearing me now, loud and clear?
A little better, yes.
If this country is a poor country, where does the politicians and the government get the millions and billions of dollars from when budget debates take place every year in this country?
Yeah, well, we have been told that we're not in that category of being a poor country. We are in the category of being a middle income country. That's something that changed over time. So we can't benefit from certain programs and policies and initiatives ever since we moved from being a so-called poor country to a middle income country.
Yes. Because I remember, let me tell you something. When I was watching a financial program on YouTube one day, and we were talking about the Jamaica.
But you see, you have shifted again, man. You went to a different position or assumed a different position, and now you're going out of range again.
No, man. You hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, because you made the adjustment. So go ahead now.
As I was saying, when I was watching a business program on YouTube one day, and they were talking about the Jamaica Stock Exchange lose 5 billion. How did they lose 5 billion? That doesn't have nothing to do with the companies that listed on the stock exchange.
Well, I didn't read that story, so I can't comment on the story itself, but such is the nature of the stock market. You win some and you lose some. When you listen to the report, the stock exchange, the stock market report, isn't that what you hear? How many stocks gained and how many stocks lost and so on and so forth. It's a story of life, isn't it? You win some and you lose some.
Yeah. Because every day on the stock market, a company wins some and a company lose some. I understand that when I always listen to news.
Now you know.
Yes. One more thing. Let me ask you one question. How does a company face financial problems, financial issues?
How does a company what?
How does a company face financial losses?
How do they face financial losses? Is that the question?
Yes.
That's
I am asking that question.
that's according to their capacity. In other words, is their organization equipped to deal with certain eventualities? Or are they lacking the resources, the human and otherwise, to be resilient, to be so resilient that even in the face of a possible impact, negative impact on the organization, you still survive and are able to bounce back and get on with the business?
Yeah. Because when a company listed on the stock exchange, the company raise money on the stock exchange, and sometimes they lose money on the stock exchange. That's a good thing when they make money on the stock exchange. That's not great.
Yes.
And one more thing. I don't think the politicians should get 200% of the salary. I don't think so. The reason why I say that because they are not helping anyone. And if poor people, they don't understand what poor people is going through. They don't understand that poor people is suffering and crying out for justice. That's why they should not get all of the salary, the 400% of the salary increase.
Well, you clearly have a lot of company in that regard. There are a lot of people who have expressed themselves in a similar fashion when it comes to any form of discussion or conversation or talk about parliamentarian salaries.
Yes, that is true. But seriously, when you're going to supermarket and stores, things are very expensive.
Hold a moment, please. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. Transferring a motor vehicle is a legal matter. True. Very legal too.
Welcome to another episode of Make We Talk Tax question and answer segment. Today we seek answers to frequently asked questions about motor vehicle transactions. Our guest today is Latoya Atlan Harris, Taxpayer Service Manager. Latoya, welcome.
Thank you.
The first question, Latoya. If I am selling my motor vehicle, am I required to visit the same tax office where I obtained the original title?
No, Leslie. When selling your motor vehicle, the original title, registration, certificate of fitness, and your ID can be presented at any tax office, after which the title and documents can be given to the new owner.
So what are the IDs that are accepted?
Your passport, driver's license, or national ID.
Okay, great. And what is the procedure for replacing lost, stolen, or destroyed motor vehicle documents, such as the certificate of fitness and the motor vehicle registration certificate?
To replace your motor vehicle documents, there are 5 steps. 1. Purchase a lost document fee at any tax office. Step 2. Present the fee to the police for police letters to be issued. Step 3. Take in police letters received along with your ID to any tax office. Step 4. The printout for certificate of fitness must be taken to Island Traffic Authority. And step 5. Return to tax office with your certificate of insurance for a duplicate registration certificate to be issued.
Oh, great. 5 simple steps. But what is the lost document fee?
The current lost document fee is $2,500.
Oh. And if I purchase a motor vehicle and the car documents were lost before transferring was done, can I apply for the replacement documents?
Yes, man, you can. Once Section 1 of the title is signed off by the seller and accepted by a tax office, and once your name appears at Section 2, and you present the police letters to us and a receipt to verify proof of purchase, then the replacement of the documents will be facilitated.
Oh, okay, okay. And let's say my motor vehicle title has two owners, but one owner is, let's say for instance, overseas or just unavailable. Can the title be transferred with just one owner present?
No, Leslie,
Oh.
transferring a motor vehicle is a legal matter.
True, true.
Very legal too. When transferring a motor vehicle that has two registered owners, both owners must be present.
Okay.
However, in the event that one party is unavailable, a notarized letter and a notarized copy of the absent party's ID must be received. The authorization letter must then be taken to stamp office and the Registrar General's Department to be duly registered before completing the transfer at a tax office.
Oh, and this can be done at any tax office?
Yes, any tax office is fine.
Thank you for tuning in to Make We Talk Tax. For further queries, contact our customer care center at 888 Tax Help. That is 888-829-4357. Or visit our website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. Tax Administration Jamaica, we are changing the way we do business by working together to serve you even better.
Your taxes hold the key.
Property owners, let's get digital. Property taxes for 2023-24 are due April 1. Payments can be made by April 30 in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. Pay using these options. Online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the THA mobile app, the mobile tax collection unit, NCB online banking and Scotia online and mobile app. Call 888 Tax Help. That's 888-829-4357. Or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details.
Make a call for me.
I pray you be all and watch us where we go.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Sorry, Sean, we actually have a scheduled interview uh, lined up. So I'm going to ask you if you could call us back. We have to go to a scheduled interview now. All right, sorry about that. But if you're able to, please call us back. Thank you very much. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And apologies for the late connection with our guest, Mrs. Carol Dorman Higgins. And she's going to be telling us about the We Care Health Fair 2023. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Carol Dorman Higgins. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for joining us.
You are most welcome.
Right. So, how did this We Care Health Fair come about in the first place?
It came about after our mother, Leela May Dorman, passed in 2004. And for maybe 2, 3 years after her passing, we would do the usual memorial in the newspaper. But we felt that was not sufficient to ease our aching hearts. And so
Mhm.
we decided to live out her legacy. And one of the challenges she had would have been health related, and she got assistance from a Dr. Glassball who would treat her without charge. And so we decided that was a way we could celebrate her life by hosting these health fairs in her memory. And embedded in the health fairs, we would always have an educational dimension because she was big on education. So with that came We Care Health Fair. About 13 years ago, we started, and we have been hosting with the assistance of our church, Whitfield Church of God, and the members there, the health fair every year. We've had sometimes over 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, sometimes more than once for the year. We've had a team coming from England, as my brother Orville Dorman, his church, Ruach City Church in London, led a team here. So we've had varying versions of the We Care Health Fair, and that pretty much is what we are about.
Mhm. And how do you structure the We Care Health Fair to meet your objectives in order to achieve your objectives? How is it structured?
Well, one of the things we do is to involve people from the community through the church and residents of the community. That's one of the dimensions of the We Care Health Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the people to participate to assist themselves. Another part of what we do is to seek sponsorship from within the community and external to the community to get others to try to identify with the needs of the persons in the community. We deliberately set out, as we say, to get resources to meet needs in this space. We also, as a part of our structure, try to engage government entities because we realize there's a high level of ignorance. For example, the many resources that are provided through the National Health Fund, many people do not know about it. So we always try to invite them. And then we have other agencies like Diabetes Association, because mommy was a diabetic. We always try to include them and their services. Jamaica Cancer Society, she was a 20-year breast cancer survivor, so we try to include them. So built into what we do are these elements that we try to facilitate even as we're offering the services to individuals. And another very important dimension is no charge to the beneficiaries. So we do fundraisers, we use our own personal resources, and we get sponsorship from corporate and from individuals,
Mm-hmm.
however small, however large, and we pool all those resources to pay for the screening services that we offer to the individuals. So that's pretty much how we have it set up.
Yes.
This year, we are finalizing the registration of our charitable foundation, Leela M. Dorman Caring is Sharing Foundation, with a view to offering more and more and more along the same line.
That's
So that's
excellent. Very good. There are those listening to us now who are wondering, I wonder if they're coming to our area, for those unfamiliar with the We Care Health Fair, because usually when these health fairs are on, people come from all boat, as we say in Jamaican terms.
Mhm. Well, we are catering to Whitkinton, which is where we grew up, at the Maxfield Avenue, Lower Maxfield Avenue, Waltham Park Road, and surroundings. But we've been as far as Yallas, which is where my sister Yvonne, who has now passed, she, because of marriage, ended up living in that community. And 1 year in honor of her, we went and hosted the health fair there. We are not objecting to going to other parts of the island, and we've had many requests, particularly through our church, the Society of the Church of God in Jamaica. And so as the foundation registration is finalized in a matter of a few days, we will, through that registered entity, seek to see how much more resources we can garner and spread out with more human and other resources on the administrative side and otherwise. We also have friends overseas who remember the kindness of Leela Dorman and have been flooding us with all kinds of items that we can now distribute, barrels of groceries, because that's part of what we do too. We try to remember the poor.
Yes.
So we have these care packages that we give out, and some of that is provided by persons who don't even live in Jamaica, but arrange for us to get items so that we can distribute family members, relatives. This year we have a lovely book that was written by a little niece of mine in Grand Cayman that's promoting self-esteem, and that book will be given to the children of the St. Rita Claver and Whitfield Primary and Infant School as little tokens, because they will perform at the health fair. They are usually the ones to provide the entertainment at the health fair.
Yes.
So we're promoting this book, and my sister Donna wrote a drama workbook, and that will be promoted or celebrated at the very least at the health fair this year. So whatever we do, we try to mix in health education and sharing, because that's what Mama was about. Caring is sharing.
Yes.
The little plaque she used to give out to many persons who still have it today. Caring is sharing. Have a nice day. So that's what we're about. Sharing because we care.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And as we wrap, are there particular individuals, institutions, organizations you'd like to recognize at this time contributing to the We Care Health Fair scheduled for tomorrow, Friday, the 23rd? From what are the hours of the
Registration begins at 8. Services begin. Screening services at 9. We have an official opening ceremony which starts at 10 and will go to 11. The health fair, the screening services, that is, those will end at 4 p.m.
Okay.
This year's opening ceremony, we have the United States Ambassador to Jamaica, who was once a member of our church. She will bring greetings. Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Lady Allen, she will be opening the event. And our Member of Parliament, Dr. Angela Brown Burke, will be there to bring greetings. Also, in terms of acknowledging sponsors, Jamaica National has been that group. They've been faithful. Victoria Mutual Group, they came on board. They have assisted us. We have City of Kingston. They have given sponsorship too. And we have many corporate entities that provided items for distribution. Grace Kennedy, Massive Distributors, Basic Commodity, to name a few. Oh, Lasco. Lasco gave us a lot of the toothpaste because we're doing a dental arm to the clinic this year, to the health fair this year. So those and many other individuals, and I want to sing out one individual, and that is Nurse Sonia Smythe, who was the founder of our church clinic. She's not in Jamaica, but she too has contributed financially. Lots of friends and family have given us items. Karen Brown, Heather Moffat. We have multiple sponsors because we take small amounts. So it's a lot. And all those who buy our play tickets when we're doing benefit performances, we want to acknowledge everybody. And for those who pray for us, we want to acknowledge them too.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. We want to encourage those listening to us, especially if you're in the Whitfield Town area, Whitfield Town Church of God in that region, 30 to 31 Whitfield Avenue, Kingston 13. All things being well, we'll see you in the morning. We Care Health Fair 2023. Thank you so much for your time. And we want to wish you and the team and the family all the success that life has to offer. And we trust you will indeed have a successful event. Mrs. Carol Dorman Higgins, Badge of Honor for Meritorious Service. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your graciousness. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:31 on Power 106 FM. Time for your legal corner.
Your taxes hold the key. Property owners, let's get digital. Property taxes for 2023-24 are due April 1. Payments can be made by April 30 in full, half-yearly or quarterly installments. Pay using these options online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the THA mobile app, the Mobile Tax Collection Unit, NCB Online Banking and Scotia Online and Mobile app. Call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357 or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details. Welcome to Your Legal Corner on Power 106 FM, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-41125. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Time now for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here on Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. We're taking your calls and your messages and looking forward to whatever updates our presenter has to share with us this afternoon. Our host on Your Legal Corner is Mrs. Dahlia Walker Huntington, U.S.-based immigration attorney, principal of the law offices of Dahlia A. Walker, P.A., in Hollywood, Florida. She practices in the areas of immigration, family, international, criminal, and personal injury law. She's also a family law and a county court mediator, arbitrator, and diversity and inclusion consultant. If you wish to speak with Dahlia Walker Huntington in her capacity of U.S. immigration attorney, you have issues, you have questions, you have concerns of an immigration type, well, this is the program, this is the time. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line for Your Legal Corner is 876-279-8598, 876-279-8598. The email address is yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Let's say hello, good afternoon, and welcome to U.S.-based immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dervan. How are you today?
I am fine, thanks. Always a pleasure to have you join us on Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. We hear you've been busy. There's the American Immigration Lawyers Association annual conference and a webcast on immigration law. Goodness.
Yes.
That started when?
It's going well. Before I even start, let me just take a moment of personal privilege here.
Sure.
Your previous guest, Mrs. Carol Dorman Higgins, I couldn't hear her very well, but when you called her name, I have to say hello to her. Dervan, this is a very small world. When I was a child living in Harborview, this is in the 1960s, Carol and her family were our neighbors, and they were my first playmates back in the early days when we didn't have even toys. We used to play making mud pies. So I just want to say hello to Carol and thanks for the work that she's doing. And just say, boy, Jamaica, we really never know where the next person is going to come from. So really look out for the children. Look out for the children because that's where we're coming from Harborview in the 1960s. The first residents of Harborview when that community was built.
What's a young lady like you talking about 60s? Dahlia Walker Huntington.
I know, but that was a little jolt and gave me a flashback. So
Yes.
kudos to her and what she's doing.
Yes.
So yes, I am at the annual conference of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. I've been a member for 25 years now, actually, and this year the annual conference is in Orlando. So I'm here working and attending the conference at the same time. I'm going to be presenting on Saturday about cultural competency and immigration lawyers, because the world is made up of so many different cultures, and as immigrants coming to America, we're interacting with attorneys who are not necessarily of our same culture, and it's important for the attorneys to be culturally aware and competent as they deal with people from different cultures, because it can have a significant impact on the representation that the client receives and sometimes on the outcome of the cases. So that's my area that I'll be speaking on.
Very good. And this is an organization for representing immigration lawyers for the entire United States of America.
Yes, over 15,000 lawyers across the United States and law professors are members of AILA, as we call it. I've often been to Washington, D.C. with the group to lobby for immigration reform. I've been doing that for about 12 years now. And they also have their annual conference in different cities around the United States, and this year it's back in Orlando. So I'm here along with thousands others. I think maybe about 3,000 members have come to the conference. I haven't got the final number, but there are various what we call CLE, or continuing legal education, that you attend. The presenters have to prepare a presentation that meets the standards for you to get credit. The persons attending get credit for attending and listening to, don't want to call it a lecture, because my panel in particular, we plan to make it interactive, but you have to teach. You have to teach on whatever subject it is that you're speaking about, and then entertain questions and some interactive exchange.
What's the prevalence of Jamaicans like within AILA? Other Jamaicans like you?
There are people who I don't know the numbers.
Okay.
With such a large organization, the AILA provides tremendous resources to immigration lawyers. So the majority of the members receive the resources, but they're not necessarily active participants in the running of the organization or in different committees. And I've done that for a number of years. I'm actually stepping away from that because it can become a little overwhelming. And I think I've given decades of service to the organization, so encouraging new people to step forward and help other attorneys to become competent in immigration law, as well as in diversity and inclusion issues, and to continue to lobby the U.S. government for meaningful and sensible immigration laws. Because when you practice, you see things differently than the people who make the law, because the law sometimes have unintended consequences, and we try to point that out to the legislature and to the administration, the various administrations that actually enact the law. So whether it's DHS, whether it's ICE, Customs and Border Protection, or the State Department, the various liaison groups that meet with these organizations for the practical aspect of what they are doing. So there are other Jamaicans who are members of AILA, other Caribbean people, but the number is unknown.
Yeah. But I would imagine it's a beehive of activity with the sessions, presentations.
Oh yes, and the facility is humongous. I don't think I've ever been in all my travels in such a large convention setting. Never been in such a large one. The numbers of rooms and levels to the place is really, really tremendous. And it's been going smoothly. It's been going smoothly so far.
And it ends when?
On Saturday, actually.
And that's when you'll be doing your presentation as well, or part of a panel. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll be doing, I'm chairing the panel on cultural competency, the elimination of bias on Saturday morning.
Are you likely to put that out anywhere? I mean, at the end or does
I'll ask them. They'll be taping it. I doubt it because it's a conference where you have to pay to attend, and it's for CLE credit. So I doubt that they would put that out there because you have to really pay the association in order to have access to it.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of access, let's see. We have a message here on the WhatsApp line 876-279-8598. Kindly advise where they are in the F2B category.
Okay, so F2B is the adult unmarried son or daughter of a green card holder. And visas are available in June for persons who were filed for before September 22nd of 2015. So from that, it's taking about 8 years. It never used to take that long, of course, but because of the backlogs, we're still suffering. So I just have to tell people that that's the date. September 22nd, 2015. If you have a priority date earlier than that, then visas are available for you. Having said that, then you also have to look at the availability of the space at the embassy to schedule you for an interview. So some people, their priority dates may be current, but the embassy does not have the space to facilitate the interview. So that can also take some time.
I see. And I would imagine as well that if it's a not to be missed event in terms of the AILA annual conference, from the standpoint that any changes at all that are made or that are being looked at, or whether of a straight legal matter or otherwise, any lawyer who is serious about any immigration lawyer who's serious about immigration law would not want to miss this annual conference.
Yes, and they've made it available in person and via webcast. And really what you have is the ability to learn from experts. So, I'm sitting in on a couple of the panels and sat in on one today on ED5, which is...
Sorry, can you tell us about that in just a moment? One moment, please.
Sure.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45.
Welcome to the new dimension in eye care, the Optical Zone, offering exceptionally comfortable eyewear. We fill prescriptions and do eye examinations. This complete optical store is conveniently located at Shop 14, York Plaza, Halfway Tree. Telephone 929-8656. The Optical Zone, providing vision for life.
Did you know that the flu can lead to hospitalization and even death? Pregnant women, persons 60 years and older, babies and children, and persons with a chronic illness such as diabetes, asthma, or heart disease are at a high risk for complications from the flu. Get the flu vaccine today. Visit your nearest health center and ask to be vaccinated. The flu is no joke. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
You're listening to Your Legal Corner your source of information on all matters regarding U.S. immigration. You can call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-41125. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Now, back to your legal corner during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM.
Thank you for staying with us on this week's edition of Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. Remember, any questions on your mind having to do with immigration, U.S. immigration, this is the program, this is the time. Here are the numbers once again, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-279-8598, 876-279-8598. And you can email yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com, yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. And before we took that break, Ms. Dahlia, you were about to tell us about EB5.
Yeah, I was saying that the panels that are being taught really are the experts in the different areas that are asked to speak and to teach these CLEs. So today I was in at a luncheon on EB5, and it's the experts in the field who are there, the people who are litigating all the way up to the Supreme Court, the persons who are practicing in this particular area. This is their niche, and they're sharing their information willingly with other practitioners. So it really is the biggest event that AILA does every year, and it's worthwhile that you not only get CLE credits, because every lawyer has an obligation to a certain number of credits every couple of years, in order to keep your license active. So you get this opportunity to learn from the experts in the different areas.
Okay, very good. We have a caller, Ms. Dahlia. Let's go to the call. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan.
Yes.
May I speak to Mrs. Huntington, please?
Sure,
Mrs.
she's listening. Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I just want to find out for a friend of mine. She has two relative boys, right? They went to America when they were about 8 and 9. And at about 15, they got into drugs, maybe selling drugs or so, marijuana. And they were deported. And this is over 20 years. And she says that she heard that they are not so strict on that anymore. So she would like to know if they could apply for a visitor's visa or go back to America on their permanent visa, because they went to permanent.
Yeah. Well, whatever caused them to be deported still makes them inadmissible. So we'd have to request their immigration file. But if they are charged with drug trafficking, as different from drug possession, they're charged with drug trafficking, then their ability to get a visa or to return becomes slim, and sometimes it's not possible. So you can't speculate and give general information. The persons in question would have to get with an immigration lawyer, get their file, go over it, see what section of the law they were removed under, and to see whether or not there's any waiver for them to go back. So, this is why I'm just making the distinction between drug possession and drug trafficking, because in some jurisdictions, drug possession is decriminalized. So some persons with even convictions, they've just wiped it clean. Marijuana possession and usage is legalized in certain places. So if they had those issues, then there might be an avenue for them. But if they were charged with drug trafficking, which is selling drugs, and sometimes the quantity of drugs that you were caught with is more than what is considered for personal use. So even if you weren't actively involved or observed selling drugs to another person, the quantity of drugs that you may have been charged with is automatically deemed to be drug trafficking because it's more than personal use. So if those persons are interested in returning to the United States, they really need to get their file and dissect what is there, but they must be prepared to hear that they cannot return. Sometimes a lot of people are not prepared to hear that. They need to be prepared to hear that after reviewing the file, they may be told that they cannot return to the United States.
Oh, wow.
But you see, that's spoil the chances.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, you know, if they were deported at 15, maybe they started getting into trouble when they were 15 and then ultimately deported when they were adults. So we really need to see their file.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much for the info. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another one. Good evening. How are you doing? Can American citizen who is on government benefits file for his or her spouse?
Yes, you can. It becomes a little bit more complicated now because they have certain means tested things that they're doing. But if you're a petitioner and you do not earn enough money, then you would need a joint sponsor because they want to ensure that the intending immigrant is not going to become a public charge on the government of the United States. So the person who's filing, along with the joint sponsor, has to sign a document to say that they will be financially responsible for the immigrant for 10 years or until they become a U.S. citizen, whichever is faster.
I see. Listeners, if you're just tuning in, this is Your Legal Corner with U.S.-based immigration attorney. U.S.-based, but she straddles both USA and Jamaica in that respect. Mrs. Dahlia Walker Huntington. And we're taking your calls. Any question at all on immigration matters, your calls and your messages, 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. The WhatsApp number is 876 279 8598. And the WhatsApp number is the same as the text line, 876 279 8598. 876 279 8598. And the email address is yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Also happening this week, going into the weekend, as you heard, if you've been listening at the start, the American Immigration Lawyers Association, AILA, annual conference and webcast on immigration law. And that's happening as well. That's huge. And Dahlia Walker Huntington is there, and she'll be making a presentation on Saturday during a panel discussion entitled "Cultural Competency to Eliminate Bias." And I see there's another topic there too. How serious is the issue of shoplifting involving immigrants?
Yeah, we can. That is something that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if we have enough time today talk about that, or if you want to leave that for next week.
Okay, choice is yours. I'm game.
Okay, so unfortunately, many of my brothers and sisters come to the United States on a visitor's visa, student visa, J1 visa, H2B visa, and they find themselves involved in shoplifting. I mean, there's no other way to put it up. They go into a store, they leave with items without paying for it. Or in the US, we have a lot of stores now with self-checkout. So in checking out, they don't check all the items. They check one, they put two. They check one, they put two. And these stores are very much in tune to what is happening, and they're watching and monitoring, and you get caught. Sometimes they don't do it on their own. They are staying with friends, and the friends,
inveigle them.
Yes, inveigle. Yes, yes. Oh, that's a word my father used to use all the time. Inveigle them to go to the store and to do this with them, and sometimes they have the money in their pocket to pay for it, but they are told, we can get this and we can do it, and they do it, and they get arrested. And when you get arrested, you can't say at that time, I'm going to pay for it, because the store don't want it. The store they don't want the money at that point, because they're going to get some restitution. They want to make an example out of you for coming into their store and shoplifting. And this happens all over, whether it's Walmart or Target or wherever the store is across the United States. I want to say to people who have non-immigrant visas that this makes you 99% of the time ineligible to get your visa renewed. Because the fact is, you're a guest in the country, and we know how difficult it is to get a new non-immigrant visa. You're a guest in the country. You have now shown immigration that you are not worthy of the trust that they placed in you. And so the opportunity to get a new visa is oftentimes eliminated. Sometimes when you're coming in on another trip, your visa is canceled and you're turned back.
Whoa.
Certainly, if you're in the US and you're undocumented, you don't want to go anywhere near that, because you can be arrested and not released because you don't have any status. So you have to think long and hard. If you have a green card and you're shoplifting, there is something called a petty theft exception. So you may not be deported, but you are going to have to wait at least 5 years from the date of your arrest to file for citizenship. Because when you're filing for citizenship, they're looking for what they call good moral character. And that good moral character is retroactive from the date you're filing. So let's say you got arrested June 1st. You're going to have to wait 5 years from that date to file your citizenship, even if the case is dismissed. A lot of times when people get arrested for shoplifting, they're put in deferred prosecution agreements, they have to take a class, and the case is dismissed. Even if it's dismissed, when you are not a U.S. citizen, you have to think of what is the implication that's going to have on me. If you're undocumented, you have a bigger problem. If you're here on a non-immigrant visa, the chances of you getting another visa just went out the door. You're a green card holder and you're waiting to do your citizenship. Your period for good moral character has now been interrupted by the shoplifting, even if the case is dismissed.
Serious business.
Yeah, it's serious. Serious, Dervan. I can't stress it enough. It's serious. Serious, and people take it for a joke. You go into Walmart and you pick up 5 items, but you only pay for 2. You're going to get arrested.
Yeah. I see a call coming through. I don't know if it's... hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Dervan. It's only me.
You
Natalie from Washington Gardens.
Yes, Natalie, go ahead, please, because we're up on the hour. Go ahead.
One quick question. Is it easier to immigrate to the United States than UK? Which one is easier?
I can't say about the UK because I don't have any experience there. But to migrate to the United States, you need a sponsor. 9 times out of 10, you need a sponsor. You may be able to do it if you have a business without having a sponsor, but you need an employer or you need a specific family member.
Okay. And they can file for you.
Pardon?
And they can file for you.
Yeah, but you have to meet a lot of requirements. It's not easy. You have to meet a lot of requirements.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the call.
Bye,
Yes.
Darby.
Okay, bye-bye, Natalie. All the best. One of our regular listeners, Natalie from Washington Gardens.
Okay.
And and so that's it for this week's edition of Your Legal Corner. Remind us how we can get in touch or keep in touch with
Sure.
Yes, go ahead.
Sure. To reach me in the United States, it's 954-963-8555, 954-963-8555. We practice immigration law anywhere in the United States. And in Jamaica, to schedule a consult, it's 876-969-9666. That's 969-9666. Thanks, Dervan. We'll talk
Thank you
next
too.
week.
Looking forward to that. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. Delia Walker Huntington ending this week's edition of Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM.
You've just listened to Your Legal Corner, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Join us next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM. At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:03 on Power 106.
Energize your life the right way with DBJ. Yeah, you must can save enough energy solution. Choose one today for your house or your business. Money I go save. Yeah, DBJ. Energize your life the right way. The Development Bank of Jamaica Limited is here to help you with the purchase and installation of renewable energy systems to help you save on your energy bill. Contact your business banker or bank today. Energize your business or home the right way with DBJ Energy Loan.
Importers. Shipments requiring you to pay customs duties and taxes are cleared on a customs goods declaration known as an IM4 or IMS4. Ask your clearing agent to provide your customs declaration, customs assessment notice, and customs receipt once duties and taxes are paid. Where your clearing agent may not be able to provide the IM4 or IMS4, request your customs goods declaration registration number or C number, which can be used to verify your payments. Importers, request your IM4, IMS4, or C number. It is your right. For details, email the Jamaica Customs Agency at public.relations@jca.gov.jm. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Calling all proud Jamaicans. Submit your nominees for the Aja Glina Honor Awards today. Help us recognize the exceptional people, groups, and organizations who were an inspiration to you in 2022 in 9 amazing categories. Shine the spotlight on those who truly inspire you, from the educators who've shaped young minds to the entrepreneurs and businesses who drive our economy forward, and so much more. Highlight the incredible individuals who make our island great. To nominate, visit go-jamaica.com/honor-awards-nominations or follow Jamaica Gleaner via Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or see the press for details. Nominations end June 30, 2023.
Join us for 4 days of unremitting coverage of the National Senior and Junior Championships, all on One Spot Media pay-per-view, Thursday, July 6th to Sunday, July 9.
What about both of them? You have Paul Skeen's number? Paul Skeen. Just that one alone. Okay. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:08. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:08. Hiện tại, Thi Điền là 4:08. 8 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And in this segment, we're featuring Wallace Reunion, the Wallace Family Reunion, which starts on the 24th of June and runs until the 26th. And to tell us more, we're joined by Frederick Richards. Good afternoon, Frederick Richards. How are you? Let's try again. Frederick Richards, are you there? Hello? All right, what about Rudolph Wallace? Mr. Wallace? Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're anxious to hear about the Wallace family reunion, and it's such a wonderful thing to be able to celebrate the family in a public way, and we need more of this across Jamaica. Let's bring on more family reunions. Goodness. So tell us, is this the first you're embarking on a family reunion for the Wallace family?
Yes, to bring the family together. We wanted to do this for the last 15 years. And it's very important. Family is very important.
Yes.
Even especially at a time like now.
True. That's very true. So you are the one who came up with the idea?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why did you think it was necessary to organize a Wallace family reunion?
Yeah, there was a need for it because we have family all over the place, England, Canada, New York, all over the world, and we talk to each other, but we don't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good to know who you are, where you come from, your family roots, who is your cousin, and know that who's your family member.
Yes. And let's bring in Frederick Richards. One moment, Rudolph Wallace. Frederick Richards, it does make sense to have this kind of a reunion in more ways than one, because it's the kind of situation, if you're not careful, you could very well make a mistake in your choice of a spouse, in a manner of speaking. Yes, because that's an important factor to be aware of, that if we're not careful, if we're not familiar with our family, then we might end up we might end up marrying family.
believe me, I have some really nice cousins, and
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't know them, then
I hear you, tongue in cheek.
I'm pretty
Yes.
I'm a grandson,
Mm-hmm.
and with me is Lorraine Thomas. She's a granddaughter.
You said Lorraine
My cousin, Lorraine Thomas.
Thomas. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from England. And Maureen Brown, also from England. Their grandparents, grandchild,
Okay.
grandchildren. Right. So their mother is Edna Wallace. She's the youngest
Mm-hmm.
of the siblings. And my mother is Margaret. She's the second youngest. Well, all of them know the truth.
Okay. Right. And the reunion we see is scheduled for Prickly Pole Primary School in St. Anne. That gives us an idea of the community, the area, the general area in which the family members grew up.
Yes, they all grew up in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of them attended that school as well.
The primary school, Prickly Pole Primary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My mother even ended up teaching there.
Oh.
At one point.
Well, if there are other members of the family who want to, who are on hand there in that space where you are now and would like to say a word, that would be fine as well in terms of passing the phone around, just so that we get a feel of family. So, in terms of the matriarch and the patriarch, in terms of the, do you go that far back? Have you done any research?
Research from RGB.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't gotten the results, but we're really coming from our grandparents, Miriam and Joseph Wally.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Miriam. You said Miriam? Oh,
Miriam and Joseph Wally.
Why am I not hearing the first name? Sorry.
Miriam.
How is that spelled?
M-I.
Mm-hmm.
M-A-R.
Uh-huh.
A-N. Marian.
Marian. Okay. So it's Joseph and Marian Wallace. Okay.
They had 12 children.
Wow.
And so we are the siblings of that line.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Any other information you're familiar with, or that you know, information that you have that you could share in talking about the Wallace family?
Well, I know. My grandfather, Joseph, mother was about 12. He passed away. I don't know a lot about him, but he was a builder and a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother, Marian, was a farmer on a steel strip, which is St. Jessica.
Oh.
Yeah.
And hold it right there. Let's take the break and come back. Listeners, we're featuring the Wallace family reunion that takes place from the 24th to the 26th of June. If you know any member of the Wallace family, or if you are a member of the Wallace family one way or another, it's a good time to check in, isn't it? One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:15.
Calling all proud Jamaicans. Submit your nominees for the Ajar Gleaner Honor Awards today. Help us recognize the exceptional people, groups, and organizations who were an inspiration to you in 2022 in 9 amazing categories. Shine the spotlight on those who truly inspire you, from the educators who've shaped young minds to the entrepreneurs and businesses who drive our economy forward, and so much more. Highlight the incredible individuals who make our island great. To nominate, visit go-jamaica.com/honor-awards-nominations, or follow Jamaica Gleaner via Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or see the press for details. Nominations end June 30, 2023.
Thanks a lot. Que hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:17. 现在地点了10:17分. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Thank you for rejoining us. Thank you for staying with us. We've been featuring the Wallace Family Reunion. If your name is Wallace, if that's your surname, or you know of a friend or a colleague, a neighbor, or somebody somewhere with that name Wallace, you let them know that there's a grand reunion happening this weekend, the Wallace Family Reunion, from the 24th to the 26th of June. Right, pretty much right now. Today is the 22nd, so we're 2 days away. The venue is Prickly Pole Primary School in St. Anne. Hello to the people of Prickly Pole in St. Anne. The venue for the Wallace Family Reunion is at the Prickly Pole Primary School in the Garden Parish of St. Anne, organized by the grand and great-grandchildren of Joseph and Marianne Wallace. Joseph, as you heard earlier on, was a farmer and builder, and Marianne was a farmer and a seamstress or dressmaker. And what about the children now? I mean, apart from those of you who are on the line now, we sadly, the family has lost some of its children over time. I mean, it's the way we all have to go at some point or another. Hello?
All of them have passed away now. All 12 of them.
So, oh my goodness, all 12.
Yeah, so it's the grandchildren and great grand.
So it's the grand and the great grand now.
Right.
Oh, I see what you mean. And how many of those now? The grand or the great grand?
Well, our celebration, hi, Ray Thomas.
Hi.
I've flown in from the UK to be here with my sister Maureen Brown, and we believe that there's going to be about 200 people at this reunion. So it's a big affair. You can imagine family of 12, and I believe 6 of them had quite a number of children too. So we know that family reunions aren't revolutionary. This is evolutionary. We're trying to evolve and continue to do this on an annual basis to keep a legacy going for great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren. But we just thought if we start now, there was a massive reunion last year in Philadelphia, and it was a real success. And we decided to bring it to Jamaica so that many more people could come, and we hope that will be the case on Saturday and over the weekend, to really start something quite unique in itself, in that we want to do it, as I said, annually.
Yes. And are there other plans as a family, whether to engage in community outreach or community development projects, or do you just keep this within the family?
Definitely, we're trying to give back to the particular community and the school.
Yeah, we're starting a Wallace Foundation, which we hope on a monthly basis, members of the Wallace family and family and friends Wallace family will contribute to. So what we're trying to do is support our own and the wider community in that help. There's a fund there, a foundation that we can support each other, or at least contribute to that support. So we hope that kicks off this weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it at the event.
Yes. And
Can I just
sure.
Say, I'm Maureen.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi. It's the Wallace spelled WALLACE. All right, that's the Wallace family that we're looking for to attend.
Oh well, that's the only spelling I'm aware of, by the way.
There's the LLIS version, but we're the ACE, the ACE version.
Okay. Well, that's an important distinction to make. Now, what can the family expect, or what can the community expect on a weekend like the one that is coming up for your Wallace family reunion? What? Yes.
It's going to be a grand occasion, Dervan. We're going to have a lot of giveaways and food, and
but you have to have the food. What's on the menu? What's on the menu?
On the menu we have, just think about everything that you can think. Fish, chicken,
Haricot,
patties, beef, managed water, you name it.
All right.
Saltfish.
Yes. And can any member of the family cook? Who's got to do the cooking?
I have some t-shirts, family t-shirts.
Okay. No, I'm just poking some fun, asking about who. So who's the cook? Who of all those within the group now? Can you readily identify at least one cook?
Well, we have head cook and buckle washer, but we'll have
I think it'll be wrong with us today because he's better at it. We're all mucking in. We've all got
Rudy can come in.
Yeah, Rudy. Come in, Rudy.
Rudy's there. Still? Rudy on the line?
Let's see.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There you are. Yes.
Another
part. Yes, I'm on the road. That's why you're
for the celebration.
having the problem hearing me. Anyway, what we're trying to do, we have plenty cooking in the family. We are a very talented family in music, building, all different types of trade, engineer, nurse, mechanic, doctor. It's all come, the talent all coming within the Wallace family.
Right. Which essentially you're telling me all of that to say, yes, we can cook as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but the menu sounds good. Menu sounds good. I would imagine lots of music as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a live band also.
Oh, a live band. Cool.
Yeah, we have a live band. Yes.
Any member of the family playing music?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a couple of members talented.
Yes. And is there anything in particular that the Wallace family is known for, apart from what you've told us already?
We're known for a lot. We're known for a lot of things. Wow. We're known for a business.
Yeah. So you're business-minded people.
Yes.
Did your family set up any shop in Prickly Pole?
Not yet. That's thinking about it. Yeah, we're gonna make a big impact. We're trying to make a big impact for the community, for families, generations to come. So this is a start.
Yeah, that's important. You have to, in order to finish, you have to start, right?
Absolutely. Right.
Well. What time does the festivity begin?
Well, we'd like people to be there at 9 o'clock. 9 a.m.
That's 9 o'clock. What's that? Saturday? Is it?
Yes. Saturday, the
Mm-hmm. So you get going at 9 and
9 to I think 8:30.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then on the following day.
Sunday will be church service.
Oh, okay, church service. Which church will the service be held?
Okay. It's in the we have an itinerary, so it's on it.
Oh, okay.
Some church in St. Anna Apostolic. I'm not so sure of the name right now.
Right. Well, we certainly want to wish the family well, and we like the idea of promoting a family reunion. It's a great thing. And we congratulate the Wallace family. It's a great thing.
Thank you.
Yes, family is priceless. Priceless. And it's very good to engender the spirit of family. The family that prays together stays together. The family that plays together stays together. Yeah. We get it.
Too many times to meet at like funerals.
Oh, yes.
And so on. So it's nice to meet on a great happy occasion.
Yes.
As a reunion.
Wonderful.
I think, Dervan, one of the things I wanted to mention was that you asked what are we known for, and I think we're known for religion, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
We're a family that really believes in God.
Yes.
And many of us have individually around the world set up our own ministries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doing really, really well. So we're a family of God, and we're blessed by God. And we know this. We're praising God.
Yes.
And I think that's the thread that runs through us all.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a thankful family, a grateful family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right. So I would imagine you have a page, do you? Have you set up a page like Wallace Family Reunion or anything like that?
Yeah, we have our own. It's just a WhatsApp, not a page.
Oh, WhatsApp.
Although we do have we're selling Wallace merchandise, so we have a website page.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you have that information at hand?
I don't.
Okay. I mean, we can always announce it at some other time if it's not available now.
You can always call me at 876-867-2508 for more information. Out there in the diaspora or in Jamaica.
Right. So if they want to connect with the Wallace family, that's a good number, 876-867-2508. Well, we want to wish you. I don't want to talk anymore about the food because it's getting me hungry already. So thank you all so much. We want you to have a blessed, peaceful, enjoyable reunion, the Wallace family reunion. Well done to all of you and all the very best. It's been a pleasure. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, bye. Take care. That's the Wallace family reunion. We need to have more of this. Let's bring on the family reunions. More family. We are family. Let's go to the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:31 on Power 106.
Traveling to Jamaica? Submit your customs and immigration declaration online for faster processing. Visit the enterjamaica.com portal, complete and submit your declaration prior to departure. Upon arrival, proceed to the immigration kiosk and swipe your passport to confirm your trip details and declaration. Once done, proceed to the customs hall to retrieve your luggage and final clearance. The online C5, making air travel easier. You may contact us or the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency
for more information.
Come see the University Singers in concert at the Philip Sherlock Center for the Creative Arts UWI Mona campus every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until July 2. From classical to gospel, reggae to Afrobeats, it's the 65th anniversary edition of the University Singers concert season, sponsored by the RJR Gleaner Communications Group, the Chase Fund, Wisinko, Nestle, and Beautiful Brides and Mr. Tux. For ticket information, email info.uwisingers@gmail.com or WhatsApp 876-802-4978.
Sogniamo un mondo senza violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno dia una
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:28. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:28. 现在地点了5点加27分. Time just changed from 28 minutes to 5 to now 27 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. As we continue with more here on the 75th anniversary of the HMT Empire Windrush coming ashore or going ashore at Tilbury Docks, and the passengers disembarking the day after coming ashore. Well, yeah, the day after when they got off the vessel. And it's a timely reminder of where our people are coming from, people of not just Jamaica, but the rest of the region. And we honor them. We honor them and salute them and celebrate them on this Windrush Day. Mark the date if you didn't know or you hadn't heard it before. Windrush Day is the 22nd of June, that Windrush Day in the UK, the 22nd of June. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Let's see, someone is on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Malcolm.
Oh, this is James Francis. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Francis.
How are you keeping, sir?
I am fine, thanks. How are you?
Not as good, but still moving along.
Well, we're picking up.
I have two things to discuss. There's something in the
You sound like the phone is at a little distance away from you, from your person.
Let me move over here. I have two things to discuss. There's something in the farming line, and I got a good news a while ago from the Ministry of National Security that workers who were owed some money for tailoring allowance and uniform allowance will be paid on this fortnight coming. I inquired about it Monday, and last week, and I advised the minister and the permanent secretary to get up and pay these people because we negotiate this payment and get it every year, you know. But I got the good news that they have to pay tomorrow. The next fortnight, which is tomorrow.
That's good. I'm getting a lot of noise from where you are, though.
No, but I don't have no radio or nothing on at all. I was with the priest.
Yeah, it perhaps has something to do with where you're standing and where your mouth is directing the audio that comes out.
All right, are you hearing me a little better now?
Yes, less of the ambience and more of your audio. Yes.
What I've noticed in the farming, when I go to the market these days, I buy sweet potato, and you go over, you peel them and boil them. They are all young potatoes. They cannot cut, they're trying to cut them without fork. They're push out at it because they have this straw on them, just like when something young and not mature. And I've been noticing this for many weeks. You know, the people are taking these sweet potatoes, bringing to the market, and whether they are stolen or not, I don't know. But they are not full. And if you do press them out and get something to them, they have no stare, they are not sweet at all. So there are a number of things I've noticed in the farming line coming up with, we don't see any orange anymore. And if you do see any oranges, you can't pay the price because it's just 1,200 or more for a dozen orange. So I'm asking the farmers, island-wide, right now, using your program, thank you for that. So let the sweet potato ripe and full, that when you roast it and you peel it, you can get something out of it. You can peel by a pound of potato with nearly 200, and when you boil it, you get nothing out of it. You get the straw, it just come out same way, and if you try to cut it or press it, it just mash away like photo with the straw on top of it, you see? So we're just asking the farmers to be careful, and those who might be entering people field and stealing young potato and young this, stop it, because we out there when we go to the market and buy, we are suffering. So, sir, I'm glad to use your program to say to the farmers in Jamaica, allow the potato to ripe before they are sold, because we are suffering here. When you cook them, they mash away, they can't eat, they are not firm. So I think that is a lack of, So I'm glad that the workers are getting this money on the fortnight in the Ministry of National Security. And I'm glad that I echoed the call to the minister and the permanent secretary last week. And I don't know, I was surprised it was going to be paid this fortnight, which is about this weekend,
Okay, the noise level where you are has gotten higher and intolerable. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, all right. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. We have quite a number of messages to clear, and we're going to do that right now. So let's hop across to WhatsApp to find out what's up. Going through the messages right now. We have some leftover messages as well. So let's jump over a few of those, especially those that have no connection to the program and the range of the program in terms of the areas covered. So just going through quickly. All right. Going down the line, Franklin McDonald from Guelph in Canada says a second note for a broadcast note. The reason that the current storm is not expected to survive in the Central Caribbean is because the Pacific wind flew into the Caribbean basin. Apparently, it is strong and flowing from west east. This effectively blows the top of hurricanes advancing in the Caribbean. Jamaicans interested, keep in mind, however, that this is what is happening now, and the weather people are understanding and interpreting a trend. If the Pacific flow stops or reverses, the hurricane dynamics may change. Thanks for sharing, Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada. Dinah McIntyre Pike sharing with us a message. Thank you. Bishop Douglas Gooden, how are you? Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada. Good afternoon to you too. He's reminding us that the class of 83, Manning School class of 83 Foundation Limited, having the unveiling of the HG Nita mural scheduled for Saturday, the 8th of July at Manning School Auditorium in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. And let's see. Steve will talk off air. Thank you for your message. And hello to Mary. And who else? ICE, NWC. Let's go up the line quickly so we can take some of the more current ones. This one says, good day, Sir Malcolm. Give thanks for another day and also for another program, coming from Rohan Johnson, Atlas Ocherios, checking in or clocking in, as he likes to say. Thank you very much. Hermin, otherwise known as June, from Norway, Oslo, Norway. She says, after the summer holidays, it's no, not that one. Today's message. Good evening. I'm relaxing, looking upon you live and direct on YouTube, says Miss June. June in Norway. Thank you very much for your message. The one in the middle is my granddaughter. She says she has finished high school. After the summer holidays, it's open to get into the university. Thank you very much for sharing with us. And let's go up the line. Miss Evadne says, good afternoon, teacher and staff at Power 106. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Calling all proud Jamaicans. Submit your nominees for the Aja Gleaner Honor Awards today. Help us recognize the exceptional people, groups, and organizations who were an inspiration to you in 2022 in 9 amazing categories. Shine the spotlight on those who truly inspire you, from the educators who've shaped young minds to the entrepreneurs and businesses who drive our economy forward, and so much more. Highlight the incredible individuals who make our island great. To nominate, visit go-jamaica.com/honor-awards-nominations or follow Jamaica Gleaner via Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or see the press for details. Nominations end June 30, 2023.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5:14. 现在几点了？5点14分. 14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Here's a message from Miss Evadne. She says, good afternoon, teacher and staff at Power 106. Hope all is well. Hi to my cousins in Old Harbor Bay, Silburn, Oral, his wife and son. Enough love to you, Mr. Malcolm, and everyone in class today. Many happy returns to you and yours, and we join you in saying hi to Silburn. Mr. Silburn White, how are you? And Oral White and his wife and his son. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much. Clarky Bless in Huntstown, St. Mary says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Thursday to you and your listeners. It is now confirmed that the 5 men on board the missing Titan sub are dead. So sad. My sincere condolences. Clarky Bless in Huntstown, St. Mary. Indeed, quite tragic. Condolences. Cuban in Georgia has threads upon threads of messages. Let's see how many of them we can tackle today. Sir Malcolm, what are the administration? That's exactly how it is written. All right, we'll try to edit as we go along then. Sir Malcolm, what is the administration? All right, let's go again. What are the administration ideas to address the concerns of the poor? Sir Malcolm, we have to question the administration ability to take care of its poor and senior citizens of Jamaica, because the poor have been neglected and left to fend for themselves. The purpose of people voting is to get governance and services and a better quality of life from the administration that is in power at any given time. The treatment the poor have received from colonists, empires, and now we're seeing the same treatment coming from the people who cook up our independence. Now the poor don't have food to eat to fend off health illnesses, and many of our ancestors have fought for our rights, freedoms, and liberty. So in this day and age, we want to see greater emphasis placed on how we're going to move the poor forward. Dervan, far too long, the poor and downtrodden of Jamaica have been on the back burner or in the back of our discussions. We've raised up the issue of concerns and problems affecting our poor Jamaicans for the past 60 years. Thank you for sharing your musings with us, Cuban in Georgia. Crocs in Black River says, greetings. It seems as if the summer heat or some other heat is getting to our forever popular in his own mind Prime Minister. At least the so-called political entrepreneurs, unlike some, have not spent their entire careers in politics, but have devised ways to create their own resources, the source of which they can truthfully declare if they're ever questioned. What he should do is shut his mouth, slink away into the shadows, and hope that his absence will cause memories to fade before he presents himself to the public once again. From Crocs in Black River. This one, no, we'll have to save these messages for your legal corner next week, all things being well. So let's save these right now. We're going to send them to the Power 106 device for the time being. Yeah, let's do that. Might be easier to bring it up there. H. Morgan in Birmingham says, hi, same here. You need You need a sponsor to come for a visit. No one can come permanently unless by marriage. H. Morgan must have been responding to the question from Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens earlier on. David Crosburn says, hello, Dervan. The Wallace family can access all the details from Mormons Heritage in New York. Their format is easier than RGD. The Wallace family name originated in Scotland. They owned and operated the Glasgow Sugar Factory in Westmoreland. David. Thank you, David Crosburn. This one asks, how will Wallace family avoid introducing intro from partaking? We have some smart Jamaicans who will take on the name for 3 days. Yeah, well, we thought about that earlier on as well when we were sharing the information. And there are enough people who would be in that space to be able to say, oh, and hi, how are you? And you are? I try to do it in a friendly manner as possible, and as tasteful a manner as possible. Wouldn't worry too much about that. Dervan, there was James Francis during the salary negotiation of the public service. Where? Dervan, where was James Francis during the salary negotiation of the public service? This man seems like a bell without a gong. Someone has sent us a voice note. We haven't been able to preview or audition that voice note, so we'll have to come back to that another time. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says Dervan, Mr. Francis needs to go to Coronation Market. I just coming from Coronation Market and sweet potatoes selling for 120 per pound. Me just buy 6 pounds, lovely ones. The price has fallen, Salah from Kingston. All right, Salah from Kingston, thank you for your message. And just before we wrap today's edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Who is this now? Oh, this is Jamaica's. We should say happy anniversary, happy wedding anniversary to Consul General Alcyon Wilson, Jamaica's Consul General in New York. Happy anniversary to you, Consul General Wilson, and all the very best. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida says, Sir D, good afternoon to you and all listeners and viewers. Well, the Caribbean American diaspora and where's the rest? And the African and Caribbean faith-based organizations had their meeting yesterday and today. Yesterday's meeting was at the White House, hosted by Vice President Kamala Harris and the First Gentleman. And today's meeting, held at Capitol Hill, Dr. Claire Nelson led the first organization, and Dr. Agoram DK, the latter. Also in attendance was our own Dr. Rose Lewis, Ms. Francine Hakeem, Mr. Marlon Hill, Mr. Steve Higgins, and I'm sure many others who I don't know. It seems to have been a very productive time spent. Indeed, it was, apparently. Myrtle Wallace had a shop in Prickly Pole in the past, Michael Richards tells us. Fiona Bless says, good evening from everyone from Canada. Rosalind Stewart says, there's a shop in Prickly Pole. Michael Richards says, hi to the Wallace family and friends. Greetings from New York. Tyrone Burrell says, yes, it's a great look for the Wallace family. Wish I was there. And this one says, we pray for a return to Jamaica. We want the Jamaica we once knew, one that we as a people respect, love, and care for each other. Hello, Nicola in Central Jamaica and the family. How's everybody? Alexander Taylor says, greetings from Kingston, Jamaica. Welcome, Alexander. Faye Weller, always good to have you on board. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Thursday, the 22nd of June, 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno dia la sua vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. Forza che ci dà. Yes, not life become. Desiderio and watch us from above. Ognuno troviamo. We hope it's all we'll find. Torno in tuo ser. And never salty love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer. Just like every child. Just like every child. Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. In our faded she's holding on. Sento che ci
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
news, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines today, Thursday, June 22, 2023. Indicom investigating police shooting incident which resulted in the death of a 23-year-old man in the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine. St. James and Westmoreland under state of public emergency. 15-year-old boy among 4 people arrested and charged with the lottery scamming task force following operation in Nickel, Westmoreland. Psychiatric evaluation ordered for Casey and Blair, the woman charged with the murder of her husband, Constable Damien Blair. In business news, Project Star initial public